Iburu, Iboya, Buche, Che, everybody in Cyberland. Hey, it's your favorite Babalao. At least I hope so. Omodun, Odileke coming at you. And I wanted to discuss something because I noticed I've been giving a lot of guidance and a lot of my perspectives on the faith, right? When we talk about Ifa, Ocha, and every now and then I'll dabble with a little bit of extra stuff in there. Um, but more importantly, I want to make sure that I start to re-vector my attention to another group, right? Because I give a lot of spiritual guidance on those who are not initiated. And then I give spiritual guidance on those who are initiated, but maybe because of a fallout, maybe they're not no longer in communication with their godparents. Maybe their godparents passed away. And those things are going to happen. That's life, right? But now I want to focus on a third group, right? So I have my first group, right? Non-initiants, right? They're just trying to learn. And again, what do we reinforce? Ancestor worship. That's the Bovida. That's understanding what that is. What does that mean? What's the commissions within a Bovida? Then we move into those who are initiated through Mano de Orula and warriors, making sure they understand how to attend, making sure they understand that their ita is very important when it comes down to their Mano de Orula, right? Ikofa for women and Awofaka for men. And what does that ita look like? And what does it entail? And who's the guardian Orisha? So we could begin to cross-analyze the guardian Orisha with the ita. And then more importantly, and this is why it's important to have a good relationship with your godparents, is that because when they did your ita, two other signs came out, which were with the witnesses. So when we look at the witnesses and what they contribute to the ire or solbo, right now we get to paint a nice picture in order for you to be guided in your spiritual journey. But it's more than that. That's just the icing of the cake. You guys see my videos. You guys see how I talk about Odun. You guys understand what I talk about when I talk about a spiritual journey. So my next group that I want to touch on is going to be for my Babalaos out there. I know that I had several Babalaos that hit me up, right? To great lengths, because there was even one that's a god brother, an older god brother than me, that comes out of my house that was that went through Ifa with my godfather that passed away, Kim Ben Tunu, Ochetura, and hit me up, and I got connected with a god brother. But my god brother there, super intelligent, super knowledgeable, right? But then I started to get hits from other Bawalaos who are struggling to gain some concepts, in order to gain some understanding. We got some brothers out there that go through Ifa, but still have the same problem that people have when they receive their Mano de Orula and their warriors. Or we have language barriers. Again, we have people that have fallouts. We have people that no longer have the guidance. And what I'm trying to do is not necessarily be a teacher. I am but a man, right, that just happens to have a different perspective and understanding of things. And I would invite them, right, for the Bawalaos out there. I want to start a chat group with you. Not only a chat group, but maybe in WhatsApp, maybe in Messenger, whatever this needs to look like. Because I think it's important for us to begin to communicate. For me personally, I do a lot of traveling. I travel throughout the world. It's part of my job. However, doesn't mean that we can't communicate. So I want to make sure I throw that invite out there. Babalaos out there. If you're looking for a little bit more guidance, I'm here to help you. If you're looking just to get together in a group chat where we can just kind of have some water talk, so what do they call it, water cooler talk or coffee chat, I'm here for you as well. All right. If you're an English speaker, that's my audience, right? I want to make sure that our English speakers grow and make this religion something great without the confusion, because confusion can happen when there's language barriers very easily. So I want you to just kind of say, hey, I'll hit you up. All right. Just la.regla.de.ifa@gmail.com. Or maybe you leave a comment, you say, hey, what's your email? All right. So I apologize because I know there was a few Babalaos out there that reached out to me. Babayobe reached out to me. There was another one. And I was gonna send them things, and there was another one who was freshly initiated, and then he emailed me, And I got so lost in the sauce, trying to make sure, because again, my priority are always those that have not been initiated, because I don't want them to make mistakes that many of us have done, because that's very scary. And I want to make sure that they get a great experience, right? Because that initial step is going to leave a mark on them forever. So if it's beautiful and it's positive, then guess what? Then at that point, the rest of their journey is going to be beautiful and positive. So a lot of us have went through struggles, through scam artists, through con artists, through people thinking they know what they're doing, but they truly don't. But they're just naive and they don't understand. I've got people that are receiving things before they even are receiving the no kidding warriors, which are there to protect them, before they do other spiritual jumps. I got people getting scratched when they're not supposed to get scratched, because in their mano de orula says you cannot get scratched. I got people that are receiving divinities that they're not supposed to receive yet, because that same divinity is what's going to save them later in the future, when they, based on their sign, when they get sick or if they really need them. I got people that are making jumps, all right, and actually consulting other people without the proper understanding of how that needs to roll out. And I tell you this not because I'm a book or an encyclopedia of all things, because trust me, I'm learning, and I've been learning for a long time, and I've been studying this faith since I was about 13. So you're talking about, I'm going about 20 something years, um, 25, 26 years now of no kidding studies, working under, santeros, looking at the palo side of the house, looking at the ocha side of the house. And my journey is always going to be different than everybody else's. I just have a different perspective. And I tell people that I look at things in a different lens, but that's okay, because my sign talks about that transformation, right? It talks about how I look at things and how I maneuver things, where other signs do not. And more particularly, Babalawos do the same thing. There's a huge interpretation that needs to occur when we're talking about somebody's life signs, or we're talking about ceremonies and things that they can do with their sign, because their sign gives them the authority to do certain things I cannot do. Some things come easier with other Babalawos, where I cannot take any shortcuts and I have to do the full thing and I have to go all in. There's a lot of different things out there. So again, this is not a school. This is only a school of thought, so that I can share perspectives with my brothers out there, my Alus, okay, my no kidding, my Alusi Wayus, my maybe my Babalaos, maybe that just fresh out the room, whatever. I'm here to learn. I'm here to give perspective. I'm here to listen, because I love to hear what other people are doing. I especially love to hear what other people are doing around the world. Specifically in the United States, I want to hear what the West Coast is doing. I know what the East Coast is doing. I know what the South is doing. I know what Florida is doing. But then I get intrigued with Texas, and then I get intrigued with the Arizona area and the West Coast, because they're doing a lot of work out there. They are. Hey, so Buruboya Bucheche, you guys are doing a lot of work out there. But understanding some of those concepts is very important, and making sure that we somewhat understand each other, right? Because that's very, very, very important. And there's stories and patakis in the oduns that always talk about making sure that we understand each other, so that we can come to a common ground. It's not that we all have to be the same, because being different is important, but it's very important to understand the foundation and how we build that foundation and where we're going. Whether it's me getting there in 10 steps, or someone else being able to get there in 5 steps. If they're able to get there in 5 steps, they're doing everything right. Get there in 5 steps, perfect. Maybe they're allowed to get there in 5 steps. If it's 10 steps for me, because that's what I have to do, then it's 10 steps for me. But what are we doing? We're always getting back to the same place. So that's my call out. So the first one was, hey, Buruboy Bucheche, or my non-initiants, let's help you out. And we've been doing really good with that, man. This channel has been picking up. I've been getting a lot of emails. My wife and I we've been jamming, helping people. Then we got to the point where we started trying to do a call out And probably not a call out, but I'll do a call out now. Email us too. If you have your words in your mano de orula, and for whatever reason you don't have a full understanding of your ita, you don't understand how things are crossing, you don't understand the beginning to where you're at now and where you're going, again, hit us up so we can better posture you. All right. And then for my Babalawos, I want you to help me so I can help you and we can help each other, because that's what it is, a network. Because then once we get that network together, we're able to help everybody, right? Because if our network grows, especially for my English speaking community, right? Because I understand the struggles. That struggle was real for me. It really was. The good thing is, I knew Spanish and I know how to read Spanish and I know how to do translations, and I'm very good translating from the Yoruba and the Nigerian dialects to the Spanish dialects, so understanding, okay, how do I make that into something that's legible, right? And something that is understandable for my English community, for my English speaking community, right? Because again, second, third, fourth generations of Spanish or African or whatever, we get so pulled away that all we know is English. Now we're in the United States and information age, and it gets real scary because then you begin to go look at Dr. Google, and Dr. Google does what? Confuses us even more, because we think what we see is credible and it's not. So, hey, so again, we're here to help non-initiants. We're here to help initiants. We're here to, I want to connect personally with other Babalawos around the United States that are English speakers, and they're doing great things. Additionally, I have great godbrothers, right? I got great godbrothers in Florida that I work with closely. You know what I mean? And I have English speakers as well out there, right? So maybe it's, hey, I'm in Florida, and maybe you need to go out there. I got godchildren all around the world. Maybe you want to get initiated with your words and your mano de rula, and you want to understand how you can go about doing that. Maybe you want to understand, right, that now you're initiated, but maybe you don't have a firm understanding, but now you want that firm understanding. Maybe you're not ready to get initiated, but you want to learn the beginning. And I applaud you. Learn the beginning, which is eguns, which is the boida, which is how do we attend our eguns, right? Understand what a misa espiritual is. So again, this is a call out for whoever and anyone out there who is truly interested. Let's build that dialogue. Let's shoot that email out, right? And let's make sure that we do right for ourselves, for our families, and for all of mankind. So, all my Babalawos out there, specifically this video was meant for you. English speakers that are struggling, maybe they haven't connected yet. I want to make sure that you do. And I want to be able to help connect you, and I want you to be able to help me connect, so that we can work together. So with that said, Iburu, Iboya, Buche, Che, Cyberland, I like where we're going. I know you guys love the community tab, so man, thank you for that, because it was because of you that we were able to get that community tab up and running. All right. So with that said, any questions, concerns, always shoot me a comment. Look for our email, la.regla.de.ifa@gmail.com. That's la.rg. I'm sorry, la.regla.de.ifa@gmail.com. La regla de IFA. All right. Iburu, Iboya, Buche, Che, Cyberland. Always a pleasure.